Diolch, Llywydd. Last time we had these questions in the chamber, I was discussing with the Minister, Julie James, her thoughts on the planning system in Wales. Now, later in that session, a couple of members raised specific issues over multiple applications for large-scale housing developments in their areas. This is an ongoing issue, of course, in many different parts of Wales, as I'm sure you're aware, Minister. Now, you've just come across from the environment portfolio, so you'll also be very aware of the environmental considerations. Do you think that the planning system takes enough consideration of environmental impacts?
The member expects that when we look in terms of, as a member will be familiar, and any members will be familiar with their own post bags, that the need for when we're taking into large-scale developments to take into account as part of that process and as part of LDPs, the local infrastructure and also the impact on the environment. And we recently had a review of Planning Policy Wales to broaden that context and take things into a more holistic account.
Yes, of course it wasn't long ago, so we do need to have a look at that further on down the line. But clearly there are, as you say, implications for infrastructure to these large-scale planning, housing developments. Always put in place the infrastructure that's needed. Now, one specific point in relation to this issue is the use of Section 106 agreements. These are conditions attached to planning applications whereby the developer is obliged to provide certain community facilities, which could be a park, a library, a playground, or it could be some other part of the infrastructure. There have been complaints that many developers haven't fully provided the facilities that they said they would. Do you think that enforcement of Section 106 agreements has been robust enough?
Clearly, 106 agreements offers an opportunity in terms for local communities to gain broader benefits from large developments or developments in their area. And clearly, when we recognise that when local people, as part of proposals on the table in its initial form, are given reassurances it will come with various agreements and community development projects, that it creates concerns when that doesn't happen. And it's certainly something we are looking at in terms of how we make sure that local people have the confidence that we work with local authorities and through LDPs to make sure that the full benefits of Section 106 agreements are realised.
I'm glad that you see that that is an issue, and hopefully maybe we can get a statement on that later on and see what your department's thoughts are on that, because I think it is something that does cause anxiety to existing communities when new large-scale developments are built and they don't have in place these things which were promised. Now, large-scale housing needs, they can prove challenging to the environment. Now, we were talking earlier on, in response to a question from Mike Hedges, about small-scale developments. Mike was talking about self-build in particular. I don't want to task you with that specific issue as we tackle that, but how far should there be a presumption in general going forward in favour of brownfield developments?
Member raises the opportunities that we talked on earlier in this chamber about the opportunities for self-build and to enable more opportunities for self-build through our new programme, and also more opportunities for those smaller to medium construction and building developers within Wales. The revised planning policy for Wales has been published, and that aims to address a number of the housing delivery issues that have been raised in the chamber today by introducing more rigour and challenge in the plan-making process in terms of the allocation of housing sites.
Question 3, Darren.